Welcome, everybody, to Season 4 of GenerXtion. I'm your host, Jeff Morgan, and I've got my co-hosts, Russ Barberio and Clyde Morgan. How are you guys doing today?
Doing awesome.
Oh, not too bad. Getting ready for the rain.
Oh, super. Yeah, we'll be talking about that in just a moment, but we want to welcome everybody to Season 4 of GenerXtion. Going to be an awful lot like Season 3. Few changes. If all goes well, we are recording the video right now, so we'll be able to give you guys video versions on YouTube of what we're doing. So everybody, of course, we're so photogenic. We hope that gives you some sort of satisfaction seeing us as we do it. So lots of things coming up in Season 4. I can't wait to get started, but before we do, let's do some introductions. Russ, how have you been since our last season?
A year older, as you may have heard. My birthday was last week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Recovering from my stupid knee injury because I'm overweight and old and think I can still do, athletic stuff. Can't really do that. But other than that, I think pretty much it. That was it. It's really exciting.
That's it.
I'm muted and I'm talking to the mute button.
What is going on?
We'll get at this right. Okay, so what I was asking was, didn't you go out of town for your birthday? I forgot to ask you where you were going.
We were going to go camping at the beach, but we decided to just have friends over. And I smoked a salmon and made a lot of drinks and had people over, so that was fun. Cool. Had a fire outside. It was nice and crisp.
Was it a cold smoke or a hot smoke salmon?
Hot smoke. I don't have a setup for a cold smoke.
I've done cold smoke before. It's you gotta have patience, but it's good. The payoff is good.
Oh, I love some Novolox for sure.
Well, Clyde, you also had a birthday, I believe, during the interim. How was your birthday? What did you do?
I did nothing. Absolutely nothing. I got nothing. I did nothing. My mom called and said happy birthday. My mother-in-law remembered. So she was like, hey, isn't it your birthday? And I looked at my wife and I said, yes, it is my birthday. But I forgave her because she had just come in from a European trip and the jet lag took her at least 2 days to get readjusted. And so it's all good. And I bought myself a birthday, no, I'm not 51 years old present. And it was a scooter. I bought me one of those really rad electric stand-up scooters. Dual motor Cabo Mantis King GT. It's amazing.
I don't know what those words mean.
Well,
is that like a hover round?
Yeah, it's like the things you see downtown at rental stand-up e-scooters, except they're professional priced, and these have dual motors. It can go 45 miles per hour, and it can go off-roading. Those ones downtown barely last about 3 months on average because they just get beat up. But if you want to spend some money, you can get even Segway makes high-end models, and they're incredible. They're big, and they got turn signals and headlights, and they're just they're like a whole new class of vehicle. I've seen some new bikes and mopeds based on the technology that are coming out. So you're going to start seeing that everywhere. I've seen some weird designs, like for accessibility, mobility, tricycle-ish, trike kind of things, but still can go kind of fast, more for popping around your neighborhood sort of thing. And, they're lightweight. You can just get on and go. And, but I'm sad I haven't been able to ride it this week because I've been working, and I just got through with like a 6-day migraine. Finally, on the 7th day, it broke, and it broke me. So I haven't been able to get back on it since last weekend, but I will this weekend.
It's going to be after the hurricane,
After the hurricane, yes. I
which,
can't wait.
yeah, originally we were going to get more of a direct hit, but as these things happen, it scooted itself a little bit more eastward, which is going to impact you guys, Russ, from what I understand.
Yeah, we're supposed to get about 3.5 inches, I think, tomorrow, and then it's supposed to rain for the next 3 or 4 days after that.
We're going to get about, right?
We're going to get a little. We're going to get a little potential rain, but not nearly what we thought. I mean, we've had a lot of wind all day long, so we're dealing with that.
It's a little breezy, but not too bad. So speaking of birthdays, Jeff, next year you and I get free coffee at McDonald's.
Did you know you can already join AARP? You don't have to be.
Since I turned 50, yeah.
Yeah. I went ahead and joined it.
I didn't join it. Fucking old
man. Mostly to get access to just a little bit of discount on some insurance. And plus, it's nice to be able to see what's being said out there. Honestly, it makes me think of all these different kinds of business ideas of things you could sell, because if this is what they're doing to our parents, what are they going to try to sell us? I mean, will the back be filled with retro console advertising, the types of vacations we like to take? I just can't wait to see the assisted living facility that we'll be in 30 years.
That's true. The music.
Why are you looking forward to that?
Oh, no, I'm not looking forward to it. It's simply a reality. And what we have found, and what my wife has found as she's dealing with some illness in her family, is that nobody thinks about it until the exact moment you need to think about it. And because of that, so many people get blindsided and blown away by what it takes when things just suddenly change, and now you're no longer mobile, or now you suddenly get early onset this or that. Mom is realizing she's the youngest person in her facility, and she's right. I mean, they go all the way up into their 90s. And as she reflected to me this morning, she said, really, this is just a house of death, because she said 7 people have died here this year, I heard, or maybe since she got there. And the funny thing is that almost certainly is happening, because you can do hospice in a place like that. And plus, if you're sending the oldest folks, but there are a handful of people who are there because they had strokes. They are like Mom with early onset dementia. It's been a real eye-opener. I mean, and this is still a really nice place, and she still loves it. It's just interesting, the things that she's coming to realize is that she didn't plan for it. She didn't prepare for it. And so as a result, because just like me, she didn't have parents. She didn't have to deal with aging parents, because she was down in North Carolina, and the woman that adopted her was already elderly and was pretty spry until the very end. So my mom never had to deal with aging parents, and it's been kind of tough. But,
when you lose all ability to retain urine, your life changes, and not just in a little oops, I tinkled. When you have complete incontinence, and then you need help, and then you need this, and then you need that, and you realize I need assistance that is not close family. It is a new reality on what your body demands at that time of life. And I want to be in a facility like that, when it comes down to that. But I'm by no means going to want to be in a facility like that just because I'm old.
Yeah, no.
I recognize that I'd want to be in an assisted living facility because I need assisting. You
Yeah,
know,
and that's probably the
Mm.
thing that's been most frustrating for our mother is that she had limited mobility before the dementia, between having what she's got one hip replaced and then both knees, I think, rotator cuff surgery, just a lot of things that made it difficult to get around anyway. But the
On a
addition
lighter
of
note, I've heard that those assisted living facilities have real problems with STDs.
there are a
I
lot of
don't want
men
to think
there.
about that in this facility.
Well,
There's
and
only
you know
like
what?
2 dudes.
Well, the way she says, she says the
They're
men
getting
are,
lots of action. Trust me.
yeah. So this place has actually been there 26 years. We found out, so that's quite a spread. So, but
You
there's
know, they
always
get the
ups and
same
downs.
action too because they just they it's like meeting them every day. They don't
It's
remember.
that's awful.
It's terrible. I want you to cut that out of this podcast. I'm sorry.
Yep, you got to own up to it. All right. Well, not much has happened with me. I've been, hunkered down doing, professional stuff, working on job interviews, et cetera, and moving mother. So it took a little bit of extra time to get her moved in and get everything settled there. So, ripped out the garden. The last of the tomatoes were gone, and I planted the fall and winter crops. So I've got some beets and some radishes, some spinach, because Georgia gets a little bit longer of a growing season, so I can continue to grow through November. So I should be able to get at least one crop out of all of that. But other than that, yep, we're just dealing with plans and preparations and moving ahead. So I think we've made a decision to definitely move back to North Carolina no matter what next summer. So if that plan works out, we'll just have to wait and see. So lots on the docket. So probably around the end of this season 4 should be new horizons.